Good afternoon, student. This is the lecture number 19 of unit number 3, that is pressure measurement. In this unit, we have studied what is pressure, what is the unit of pressure, then classification of pressure measuring gauges. In that, medium pressure, low pressure, and high pressure measuring gauges we have studied. Okay, then in up to previous lecture we have studied the low pressure measuring gauges, that is Macleod gauge, thermocouple gauge, Pirani gauge, that we have completed. Okay, so today we are interested to study the ionization gauge. In the diagram shown on this slide, you can observe in a circular section or circular enclosure, there are three terminals are given. First one is the grid, anode, and cathode. This gauge consists of heated filament, that is cathode, a grid, and anode. These elements are housed in an enclosure which communicate with the vacuum gauge or vacuum system under test. The grid is maintained at positive potential of 100 to 350 volt, whatever the grid is there, horizontal plate is showing, which is maintained at positive potential, and that positive potential is how much? 100 to 350 volt. While the anode plate is maintained at 3 to 50 volt, while that anode plate is maintained at 3 to 50 volt. Okay, and the cathode plate is positive ion collector and anode is an electron collector, because anode is negative and that cathode is positive. So whatever the electrons emit by the grid plate, that electrons will migrate towards anode, and whatever the negative ions, that will be migrate toward cathode. Okay, so grid draws electron from the heated filament, as the grid plate is supplied with a current. In the diagram we can see that the I2 current is passed through the battery, that is E2, and as the grid plate is having certain resistance, there will be heat generation will takes place. Okay, that's why the grid draw electron from the heated filament, and collision between the electrons and gas molecule causes ionization. That is, ionization is the process of knocking free electrons from an atom and thus producing the free electrons and positively charged ion. Okay, so that causes ionization of molecules. Since the anode plate is maintained at negative potential and the positive ions in the space between the grid and anode migrate toward the anode, and a current I is produced in the blade circuit, and the electron and the negative ions are collected by the grid, and current I2 is produced in the grid circuit. Okay, so what we can say that as the grid is emitting the electrons, that electrons are migrate toward the cathode, and whatever the positive ions produced, that will be migrate toward the anode. Okay, so as the positive ions are migrate toward anode, the current I1 is produced in the circuit, and as the negative electrons are migrate toward the cathode, uh, because of that current I2 is produced in the circuit. Okay, so the rate of ion production is proportional to the number of electrons available to ionize the gas, because in that enclosed chamber the unknown gas is having certain pressure, sorry, is enclosed in the amount of gas present. The rate of ion production, whatever the ion production is done in that enclosed chamber, is proportional to the number of electrons available to ionize the gas and the amount of gas present. Thus, the ratio of positive ion, that is anode current I1 to electron, ratio of what? Ratio of positive ion, that is anode current I1 to the electron, that is grid current I2, is a measure of gas pressure, and which can be calculated by following relation. Okay, so where S is the sensitivity of the gauge, which is determined by calibration of the gas, and I1 and I2. I1 is the current produced in the grid circuit, and I2 is the current produced in the grid circuit, and I1 is the current produced in the anode circuit. Okay, so which can be calculated by following relation: P equal to 1 by S into I1 by I2, where S is nothing but the sensitivity of a gauge, which is determined by the calibration of gas. The sensitivity, or what we can say, that the gauge are available to measure pressure in the range of 10 to the power minus 9 to 10 to the power minus 4 mm of Hg. Okay, so this is nothing but the instrument used for the measurement of. By this way we can measure the pressure uh, by using knowing the I1 and I2, and S is the sensitivity of the gauge, which is determined by the calibration of gauge. Okay, so every instrument has certain advantages as well as certain limitations. Okay, so advantages of ionization gauge is pressure reading range is wider, means wide range of pressure can be measured. Then pressure reading range in wider. Then fast response to change in pressure, means the instrument gives very fast response to the uh, pressure change. Okay, possibility of a pressure control and remote reading, constant sensitivity for a given gas or a wide range of pressure. The limitations or disadvantages of a ionization gauge: cost of the instrument is high, and a complex electric circuit. Okay, means the electric circuit of that instrument is complex. Cost of that instrument is also high. Calibration varies with. So the calibration varies with gases. Means suppose the uh, pressure of gas is to be known, which is changes. Means every time we will have to measure the pressure of different gases. In that case, the calibration will be changes. Okay, some gauges get decomposed on hot filament. So as we are using the different gases, so whatever the filament or grid we have used in the ionization gate, that will get decomposed, because in different gases there will be different values of the moisture content. So that's why there will be oxidation of that grid plate. Must be provided with automatic cutoff. Okay, so these are the limitations of the ionization gauge. So which will be overcome by using the next pressure measuring gauges. Okay, so this is nothing but the ionization gauge. Means while understanding the ionization gauge, we will have to understand that in the enclosed in the enclosure, it will that enclosure may be metal or a glass envelope, which will be enclosed by a vacuum source. Okay, and in that enclosure three what we can say, the terminals are given. One is the negative anode, positive grid, and positive cathode. Okay, so that grid is generated the current I2, and in the anode circuit the current I1 will be produced. Okay, so as there is a pressure is sorry gas is used in the enclosure, the different ions and what we get electrons emitted in between that gas envelope. Okay, so by this way we can use that ionization gauge for the pressure measurement. Okay, so then next type of gauge is Knudsen gauge. Okay, so Knudsen gauge, just see the diagram of the Knudsen gauge. Here in the diagram we will have to just observe what are the different construction parts are given. In this diagram we can observe that again there is a square chamber is used. Okay, in that square chamber, two fixed plates are used. This one is the one fixed plate, and this one is the other fixed plate. Okay, so in between that fixed plate, then one movable vane is used. Means this end of the movable end is restricted by this fixed plate, and this end of the means backward movement of the movable vane means that in between means intermediate plate is known as a movable vane. Okay, so the backward movement of this end of the movable plate is restricted by this fixed plate, and forward movement of the movable vane which will be restricted by this plate. Okay, and upward and downward movement are controlled by this spring, because on upper side and lower side the springs are provided. Okay, so the fixed heated plates which is maintained at temperature T up, and movable vane is maintained at a temperature T suffix V. Okay, so in the enclosure, unknown pressure gas is introduced, that is Pi. Okay, less than mean free path. So as there is a gas, particles are there. Okay, so as, everywhere in that chamber the gas particles are present. Okay, so the fixed heated plate are maintained at a temperature, some temperature, and the moving plate is also maintained at some other temperature. Okay, the temperature of the fixed plate is higher than the movable plate, so that's why whatever the amount of gas molecules striking at the fixed plate, that's why their kinetic energy will increase. So that and they will means after striking the movable vane, the gas molecules will uh, travel at a faster rates. That's why they will be bombarded on the movable vane. Okay, so the movement of the backward movement of the backward movement of the movable vane will takes place from the left, and forward movement of the plate from the right. So that's why what will happen, so there will be a deflection of a plate will take place by a certain angle, and which will and when there is a light bulb is provided, and one mirror is uh, mounted on the movable vane. Okay, here we can observe this is the mirror. So as mm, the number of gas molecules will strike on the fixed plate, and the temperature of the fixed plate is higher, that's why that molecules will or atoms will return back at a faster kinetic energy, and that will strikes on the movable vane. Therefore the angle or deflection of movable vane will takes place, and that will be measured by the source of light uh, fall on the mirror, and which will reflected back on the measuring scale. Okay, so this is the working principle of the Bunsen gauge. We will understood in details. Okay, it work on the principle that the force produced on vane is directly proportional to the pressure for a giving temperature values. Okay, means whatever the uh, force produced on vane because of the gas molecules, whatever the force produced on the movable vane because of the gas molecule is directly proportional to pressure for a given temperature values. Okay, so this gauge is enclosed in a chamber in which the gas whose pressure P is to be measured is present. Okay, means that in that chamber the gas this gauge is enclosed in a chamber which in which the gas whose pressure P is to be measured. Okay, the gauge consists of two fixed heated plates, fixed heated plate, and each of these plate are maintained at absolute temperature T up, which must be measured. A movable vane is placed between the two heated plates. Its movement is restricted by a spring from upward and downward direction. Okay. The mirror is attached to the movable vane on which the beam of light fall, and the light beam deflected in case there is a deflection of beam or vane. The deflection is measured by the scale on which it fall. Means when the light source fall on the mirror. Okay. If the plate will not deflect, then when light source is coming, it will reflect it back at the same position. But if it is deflected by a certain angle, it will be reflected back by reflected by a certain angle, and it will be measured by a measuring scale. Okay. So the separation distance between the fixed plate and the vane must be less than the mean free path of the surrounding gas. Means uh, as the distance uh, between the fixed plate and the vane is nothing but the mean free path of the surrounding gas, and that distance is nothing but the measure of pressure, so that the temperature of the plate Tf is higher than the surrounding gas. The absolute temperature of the gas is Tv, which is also temperature of vane. The gas molecules striking the vane from hot plate have a higher velocity. Means hot plate कोणती आहे त्यामध्ये, that is fixed plate, and that's why whatever the molecules striking the hot plate have a higher velocity than leaving the vein. Means movable vein कडून जे काही मॉलिक्युल्स येतील त्याचा जो स्पीड आहे तो कमी असेल ॲज कम्पेअर टू द फिक्स प्लेट, molecules coming from the fixed plate. Okay. Thus there is net movement is imparted to the vein. Thus there is a net movement is imparted to the vein, giving rise to a net force F, giving rise to a net force F, and the net movement is imparted to the vein is giving rise to a net force F, and which is measured by observing angular deflection of a beam on the scale, which is directly calibrated to measure the pressure. Means whatever the force we are getting, directly calibrated to the measure, and the pressure P to be measure is given by whatever the pressure we are getting, that will be measured by P equal to K into F divided by T suffix F divided by TV minus 1, where K is the sensitivity constant, F is net force observed by deflection of beam, net force observed by deflection of beam, and Tf, that is temperature of the fixed plate. Tv is the temperature of movable vane. The Knudsen gauge is insensitive to gas composition except for the variation of accommodation coefficient from one gas to another. Okay, the Knudsen gauge cover the range of 10 to the power minus 8 to 10 to the power minus 2 mm of Sg. Okay, so that is nothing but the pressure measured by Knudsen gauge. Okay, so there is nothing difficult to understand the construction and working part of the Knudsen gauge for the pressure measurement. Okay, then next type of pressure measurement, that is high pressure measuring gauges, and which will be measure the pressure up to 70,000 megapascal. Okay, and the type of gauge is Bridgman gauge for the measurement of high pressure P greater than 70,000 megapascal. The electrical gauges are used which operates on the principle of change in resistance of fine wires with change in pressure. Change in resistance of fine wire with change in pressure. It is known that resistance of a fine wire changes with pressure. It is known that the resistance of a fine wire changes with pressure according to following linear relationship. that R equal to R1 in bracket 1 plus B into delta P, that R1 is the resistance at pressure, means at 1 atmospheric pressure, resistance at 1 atmospheric pressure, then B is the pressure coefficient of resistance, and delta P is the gauge pressure. Okay, the pressure transducer based on this principle is Bridgman gauge, and its schematic arrangement is shown in the next slide. Okay, here we can observe that in the central part, sensing element, and that sensing element is nothing but the coil, which is enclosed in a bellows, and in that bellows the inflation of the bellows is done by the kerosene oil. Okay, and that coil is terminated outside. Okay, the Bridgman high pressure packing, these are the Bridgman high pressure packing, and on the front side there is a pressure connections through which the high pressure, or what we can say that unknown pressure air or gas is passed. Okay, a fine wire of a manganese or gold chrome with a total resistance of 100 ohm, and wound in the form of coil is enclosed in a pressure container formed by a flexible kerosene filled bellows. Okay, that bellows is filled with a kerosene, flexible bellows filled with a kerosene. Okay, this coil has its own this coil has its one end grounded to the cell body, and other end is brought out through a suitable insulator. Okay, the pressure to be measured is transmitted to the coil through bellows, means as we are passing the unknown pressure air through the pressure connection, the pressure is to be measured is terminated to the coil through bellows. The resulting change in resistance is measured by the in resulting change in resistance is measured by Weston Beach and correlated to pressure through calibration. Okay, advantages काय आहेत, that a commercially available with a scale up to pressure of 15 megapascal, commercially available with a scale up to the pressure of 15 megapascal with accuracies of 0.1 to 0.5%, good dynamic response. It gives good dynamic response and possibility of process control and remove reading. Okay, disadvantage are high cost, complex construction, small leakage with will affect the reading, and next is requires electric power. Okay, so these are the disadvantages of uh, disadvantages of a Bridgman gauge. Okay, so it will be measured by the Weston Beach. Okay, so this is nothing but the high pressure gauge is Bridgman gauge. Okay, so today we have covered the three types of pressure measuring devices. First one is the ionization gauge, second is the what we can say that Knudsen gauge, and the third one is the Bridgman gauge. First two are the low pressure measuring gauges, that is Knudsen gauge and ionization gauge. Ionization gauge measures the pressure 10 to the power minus 9 to 10 to the power minus 4 mm of Hg, and Knudsen gauge measures the pressure in the range of 10 to the power minus 8 to 10 to the power minus 2 mm of Sg. Okay, so this is nothing but the pressure measurement, low pressure measurement. And then last one is the Bridgman gauge, that Bridgman gauge measures the pressure of 70,000 megapascal. Okay, 70,000 megapascal means 70,000 Newton per mm square. Okay, so that much range of pressure is measured by using Bridgman gauge. Then next type of pressure gauge we will have to study, that is deadweight pressure gauge, that we will study in the next lecture. Okay, so today we will stop over here. Whatever the doubts you have, that we will discuss in the Google Meets. Okay, and whatever the notes I have provided to you, just go through it as per as the MCQ point of view as well as the theory exam point of view. Okay, so thank you.